Hello. Okay. This video is going to be very, very different from my other videos. And we have been talking a lot about business. And I am creating this 6 or 7 part series, and we're going to talk about leadership. And we're going to talk about how to rapidly increase your leadership capacity and effectiveness as a leader so that you can be very, very successful in your business. So, this is a 7 part series. I'm going to share a lot of really, really, really cool stuff. So, make sure you're watching out for those other videos because I'm going to share piece by piece, step by step, the formula that you need to bring yourself up to the next level of consciousness, vibrations, leadership capacity, all of that stuff. Okay, so today I'm going to kick this video off with the step number 1 and what you need to do first to elevate your leadership effectiveness. So what you want to do is you want to set a vision and an intention for who you want to be, who you want to become. How do you want to evolve? And what you want to do with that is, first of all, you want to be brutally honest with yourself and locate yourself on the map of consciousness, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and see where you are, where you calibrate, where you vibrate right now, and set an intention as to who you want to become in the next 6 months to a year. Okay? So the tool that I recommend, I absolutely love, it's called the Map of Consciousness, and it was developed by David R. Hawkins. And to tell you a bit about Hawkins first, he was psychiatrist for 40 something years. He was a psychologist. He was a consciousness researcher. He was a scientist. And he lectured at different universities, including Harvard and Oxford and whatnot. And this level of consciousness, I think, is such a gem because it's really, really cool about this is that he was able to calibrate through a muscle testing method. He was able to calibrate people people in different events too, and different scriptures and whatnot, at different levels of consciousness between 0 and 1,000. Now, the lower levels of consciousness, and you can see this here, so this is what you want to be looking at. The lower levels of consciousness, shame, guilt, apathy. For example, this is where Hitler was calibrating near his death. Now, all the way up here, levels near 1,000, that is where all the big avatars, Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, that is where they were calibrating. Most of the world calibrates below 200, which is the critical line right here. The critical line is 200. Below 200, you're not manifesting anything. You don't have a lot of power in your life. You're forcing things to happen. You have to work very, very hard for anything to happen. And the levels above 200, and if you're familiar with the law of attraction, that is where the magic starts happening. The higher you calibrate, the more power you have, the more things that you want to actually attract into your life. And you're not sabotaging yourself with a lot of the negative patterns and beliefs and all this crap that is in your subconscious in these lower levels because you have dealt with it. So to move to higher levels, you have to be dealing with a lot of stuff. You have to be dealing a lot of healing, a lot of transformative work. But the step number 1 in the process is locate yourself on the map and be brutally honest with yourself and set an intention of where you want to move to. Now, don't be like, okay, I'm at level 159, I'm 150, I'm angry most of the time. Next year, I want to be at peace. It's not going to happen. There's only 12 people in the world, I believe, that calibrates at level 600 or above, or at least that were at some point when they did the research on that. So it is very, very rare, and only about 4% people calibrate in 500 and above. Now, 50% of the United States calibrates above 200, but only 15% of the world. So most of the world is really hanging out in these states, which is not very fun. This is why I moved here, guys. I grew up in a country that calibrates below 200. It's not fun. It's way more fun here, let me tell you. 50% of people here calibrate above 200. And I bet it's even higher in Boulder. So many amazing people here. But and also, what I want to mention, the United States is one of the highest, if not the highest, calibrating country. I don't remember exactly. I think we calibrate about 420. So this is really, really cool. Okay. Now, the thing about this is, yeah, you've got issues, just like everybody. I have issues too. It doesn't mean that you're calibrating here. Like, you tend to maybe hang out in pride from time to time. And I definitely am in pride sometimes. I'm so proud of myself sometimes. And sometimes, especially like a few months ago when I noticed myself being really anxious and really cravey and wanty, and I need this client, and I need that, I need the income, When you're hanging out in this level, it's you're not gonna get anywhere in your business. And you know this when you come into a sales conversation with a client from this level, your desire, craving, whatever, they're just going to feel pressure. They're not going to feel your love because there isn't any. Even if you're pretending you're coming from a place of service, it's not going to happen. Okay. But if you're watching this video, here's the good news for you. People below 200 are just not attracted at all to this kind of stuff. So the chances are, if you're watching this video, you wound up watching this video for a reason that is you're already attracted to this stuff. You're curious about spirituality and vibrations of levels of consciousness and all this stuff. So you're probably above 200. So hopefully that puts your mind at ease, and don't get sucked into judging yourself too harshly, because that's just the ego mind talking. Just look at the map and see, okay, I'm somewhere between here and here, and set an intention of where you want to be. Okay, so that is step number 1. In the next video, I'm going to talk you through the next step number 2. Okay, so